I've been watching some other people's videos, and I just kind of laugh at some of the content. You know, I'm trying to build this power supply for a command radio, and other people do unboxing. Well, they get weekly items. Like, yeah, yesterday I got these two matched tubes, and I failed to show you how the box opens. The tubes come out through the bottom. Let's try the other one. This is supposed to come out with the tube, but this is the way they used to work in the old days, way back. Okay, later on they just became a regular box, but here's a 12A6 tube, and this is the audio output tube for a command radio receiver. And I didn't know, you know, it's also under the number VT124 if I'm lucky in remembering the number, but I didn't even know I had them. But I was waiting on these, and that's the one that goes in the command radio oscillator module. You know, you'll see this whole thing. You know, whether I get my license, whether I get on the air, I'll show you step by step. And oh, wait, let me find scissors. We can do an unboxing. The only difference between my unboxings and other people is I know what the parts are. I know what they do. A lot of unboxings, people do it on there, and then they, oh, I don't know what this is. I wonder why I bought this. Wacky stuff. Now this is a rheostat. I'm going to show you a rheostat, and if I remember correctly, where I got a pot, I can show you the difference. This guy packed this really nice. Unfortunately, it's bouncing around in the box. So no matter how good you pack it, it bounces around. Now this is really old. It's Ohmite, and it's been opened a few times. Probably take pictures. Try to, maybe a customer in the store thinking about buying it. Okay, and this right here, that's epoxied, and there is your nichrome wire. Okay, your slider, they call that a slider. This is brand new. Okay, and this is the one that goes in series with the two tubes that regulate the voltage, and they're gas tubes, and they're like a neon bulb, and when you put them across a certain voltage and adjust this in, they'll fire. And what they do is they knock the voltage back, and you put the transmitter on and go into transmit, adjust this until the tubes just glow. So what does that do? Well, when you undo the transmitter, the tubes glow even harder, and that drops the voltage down, or holds the voltage at where you set it at. So say you're using 400 volts in transmit mode, so you set it, and then when you go off, it's at 400. The tubes take up the slack. Okay, it's a parallel regulator, and but this is different than, I'll show you, like a regular pot at 2 watts. Now this might be Ohmite also. Yeah, this is also Ohmite. This is a regular pot, and that's what these look like. And these are 2 watts. And this is the biggest pot I had. Okay, as far as wattage, I have resistance. Let's just say this pot here has the same resistance as this, but this can dissipate 25 watts. Okay. The other one I had trouble finding is 25 watts, okay? But that's what this is. It's called a, oh no, wait, okay. This is a regular pot. It uses, inside it's a piece of phenolic with the print on it, and this is a rheostat, okay? If you open up your Lionel training sets, or your the old-fashioned slot racing cars, you'll see something like this with wire. And as you turn this, I don't know if it's going to turn. Yeah, as you turn this, it's just like it works just like a pot does, but it can handle 25 watts. Okay, that's what this is. We can put this aside. Let's do our next opening. Yeah, the mail girl just woke me up out of a nap. I said to myself, let's take a longer nap today. Didn't work out. Mail girl came. She knows that I get electronic parts. All right, now I opened the first box, the first package, with a pair of $2 scissors, and they're like $6 now, but they used to be $2. Things have changed. Okay, now to open this box up, we're going to use a Harbor Freight X-Acto type knife, and it's padded. This is very good when you're doing things. You don't hurt your fingers. If you ever worked with X-Acto knives for a period of time, they're not cushioned. And this was cushioned a lot more when I first got it, but the rubber has dried out already. You know, it's Harbor Freight. What do you expect? But it's nice. You take the cover off, and let's get this in frame now. I know some people, they really enjoy unboxings. They don't build anything. They enjoy unboxings. And I want to tell you, I was recommended a video by that kid. I found someone that really picked on him. The kid from Vietnam that goes find stuff on the side of the road. It's all fake. The one guy really went over the video and showed how stuff that what he does is he does the video on backwards. And these are tubes, and these are I don't know if you've ever seen a regular tube, but this is not what these are. These are high voltage regulator tubes. This one's VT150. Yeah, I remember that number offhand. Now VT150, all it does is it conducts. When you dial in the voltage, there's gas inside this tube. This is not what you call an electron tube. It's an electron tube, but it's not an amplifier or let's see, amplifier. What else could you have in it? A rectifier. This tube has gas in it, and it glows, and it's like a neon bulb, and it doesn't light up real bright. But in other words, the voltage across this tube is 150 volts DC. So we're working on 400 volts, so you need two of them. Two of them in series is 300 volts, and then in series with that goes this big honking rheostat. Okay, so as soon as you turn this rheostat down, the tubes will fire up, and that's the top end of your voltage. Okay, so say you have the voltage with the transmitter on, fully loaded. You turn this till the tube just glows. That's say 400 volts. Then when you undo the transmitter, the tube will fire even hotter, but it'll stay at 400 volts. Now, why do you want to regulate the voltage on a transmitter? Okay, now when you key up and you talk, no big deal. Nobody will really notice that your power supply isn't regulated. Okay, but when you're sending code, every time you click the key closed, if you don't have a regulated voltage going to the oscillator comes up real quick. It does come up extremely quick, but the frequency of the oscillator is slightly off as it goes from not being on to being on. And it does a twang, a tweet, a chirp, whatever you want to call that noise. And it annoys people on the other end. And years ago, nobody would say anything about it. When ham radio first started, then as people regulated the voltages, you know, they would the non-tweet or twerp or guys, okay? So in other words, it became better to regulate the voltage only for the guy on the other end. It makes a clearer sounding tone for the dits and the das. And I say dit and da because I had a guy correct me. No, they're dot and dashes. No, they're dit and a da. The dit and the da, you say it that way, that's how you learn it quicker. Okay, that's what it's going to sound like when it's coming down. It's like a song, it's singing. The person's sending code, it's got a rhythm to it. And a dot and a dash will cause you to hear it and say, well, that's a dot and a dash, which is da-da. Okay, A is da-da. It's not dot dash, it's da-da. And I did a video, and then the guy said something to me, and I referred him to the military training film, and they explained all. He wouldn't go look at it. He was so mad. I was like, and that's one of the reasons I don't like doing videos, are some of the comment people. But oh, and the people like to give you thumbs down. You can't do that anymore. So that little Vietnamese kid that's playing make-believe, he has thousands of followers. Oh, you're so good. Oh, you really know how to repair things. I wish you were. It's fake. The whole thing's fake. Watch the video twice if you can go that long. Because first you got to go with them alongside the road and then pick something out of the garbage. And notice in the video, it's always standing out from the piles of garbage, okay? And then he has already done half the video when he at that point. All right, he's done the video when he's finished the thing. Then he finishes it. Then he smashes it. Then he takes it home and he washes off the fake dirt that he put on it. And the one guy took a video and he analyzed it, and it was hilarious because the kid actually opened up a hard drive and filled it with dirt, and then closed it up and then reopened it for the video, and then he washes it all out. Of course, it's going to work when he turns it on because that part of the video was always shot. He has thousands and thousands of views, and he's making money with these fake videos. And there are people in the comments saying, "Oh, you're so wonderful. I wish I had the skill and the patience." Oh my God, how stupid are you people? Well, he gets 1 million views. Okay, so let's just say 500,000 of those people think he's really good. Let's make it half. That's a lot of stupid people in the world. That it's right in front of them, and they don't know because they never open up anything. They don't know how it works. They have no clue. And this one guy went after him, and I was watching that, and I thought it was hilarious because one time, Shango66, he did a quick video at the beginning, and he went out and he found something on the side of the road, and he brings it back, and because he actually finds stuff and he restores it. There's restoration and he does resurrection. I myself am just a builder, and I build things to stay busy. And I will build something just to see it work. And then it goes in the big room, and that's where it ends up, okay? That's why this project is going pretty good, believe it or not. You know, once I got that oscillator module working, I was dreading that because they show you that bracket. I'll show you that again. Let me take off this octal socket on the bottom. Might confuse some of the viewers out there. Okay, that's so I could work with it not in the transmitter. Okay, but this is how this thing sits in the back of the command transmitter. You take the regular tube out and you put this thing in. And in my case, I added two crystals, and I got an A/B switch on mine. All right, but you're supposed to be able to fit two coils in here, 2.5 millihenry coils, and I got these tiny, teeny ones, and I was afraid maybe they wouldn't oscillate. Thing works, okay, and the reason you have to put this on, I'll go over it again. The reason you have to run the command transmitter on this is the command transmitter has a VFO. That's a variable frequency oscillator. That means you could move that. I like how it works backwards when I look over at the camera, at the video display. You're not allowed with the bottom license now or in the past to have a VFO because it'll allow you maybe to drift into a frequency you're not allowed on, or to accidentally go on a frequency you're not allowed in. So you have to use coils. Crystals, okay, and see these crystals. There's a guy on eBay, eDumpster that sells these, and he's got them marked really nice. Whether he did it years ago or someone did it, but they're marked. Now, a regular crystal for handbands will come like this. And this is a really nice one, okay. But notice the number on it. Let's see if it focuses. Okay, when they do this for you, it makes it so much easier. From a distance, you can tell what crystal you're on, what frequency. This is 3.580 megahertz. Okay, us old guys, it was megacycles. It's the 80-meter handband. Okay, I think I showed you enough. You know, I'm still working along. You'll see some more activity as soon as I get the chassis. See, once I get the chassis, I can cut the hole off of the transformer and start visualizing where I want the input power to go, and the on-off switch. And right now we're just getting the parts in, and I many times I've commented about the lack of delay when you want to build something and have to go all mail order. And that's how my dad started. Before him and my uncle had a TV repair shop, my dad would build like an FM tuner. He built from scratch from a magazine. It was a AM tuner, and it was a TRF, tuned radio frequency unit. There was no oscillator. When you tuned the receiver in, basically it had 3 stages of RF amplification and a detector. There was no IF strip, and there was no oscillator, and that was to get a really wideband AM signal for high fidelity. So that thing he built from scratch got a high fidelity. And later on, for the second channel, he got a Heathkit tube, used a 6C4 tube in it, and that tuner was for the FM side. And we were listening to stereo broadcasts. You'd put both of them on. The bassy side would be the AM tuner on the station, and then on the FM station was the high frequency and left channel, right channel, whatever it was. So you were tying up 2 channels or 2 stations in order to get stereo. That's how it started. Then the FCC says we don't want the same information going out on 2 different frequencies, right? Which has changed. Over the years, they changed that. You can have talk radio on 1,000 different stations. Well, anyway, so you would listen, and then later on they went what they called a multiplex stereo, which the stereo is on the FM band, the carrier, the way they did the carrier and the side bands and the whole thing, and they did it. The AM got left in the dust. Okay, for back in those days, we had in New Jersey and New York, we had 3 rock stations, and then a bunch of classical stations. The talk radio in those days was a lot different. You can still find some of the talk radio now on like Saturday morning. It would be like pet care, lawn care, cars. You call in about your car, problems you're having. And in later years, you had Bernard Meltzer. You'd call in with your problems, and he'd try to help you solve them. And now it's basically talk. It's pro-vaxxers and anti-vaxxer programming. Okay, and then some nights when some of the sports talk, they don't have a game scheduled or something. They do play some music now. My music stations during the day, I have a classic rock station. Both of the rock stations in my area drop back their power to where you really can't pick them up outside of the city. But I wanted to show you that, what a rheostat looks like. And these are loops wound around a core, and then it's epoxied, and that dissipates a lot of heat when it's on. And this one here is like I said, in series with the 2 glow tubes. Let's call them glow tubes, but they're regulator tubes. And each one's 150 volts. You put them in series, that's 300 volts. And then the pot makes up for the adjustment. You can adjust between 500 volts and 400. Right? I'm going to be at 400 volts on my supply. And I told you I'm using this. Buried in the garbage here is the transformer, which has all been checked out. I've all wired up, and I have the wires marked with black. And this will go in the chassis. There'll be a terminal strip. Let me find my terminal strip. It's here. All right. This will be next to the transformer. All the wires will come down on here. Okay. And then on one of these terminal strips will be my capacitors and my diodes for the rectification. I'm not using a tube for a rectifier. I'm using, you can see them here. 2N, see that's what I really can't always remember numbers. 2N5407, something like that. Okay, dyslexia, bad memory, old age, whatever you want to call it. But I'm still on this, and even if I can't learn code, I'll have built a power supply and I've refurbished a World War II transmitter, and I can legally transmit into a dummy load without using an antenna. And that's what you'll see me doing. And then it's a matter of running a wire from here to outside to put up a long wire antenna. I'm good with antennas. I've done many antennas. I've done transmitting antennas for other people that had a ham license. That's the sad part of all this. You know, people I've helped could learn the code, learning the rules and regulations. All that's easy. Okay, the code is something else, man. I want to tell you. And there's a lot of people that when you talk to about learning the code, they just shake their head. They don't even want to talk about it. I'll talk about it. It's really hard if you have a certain type of brain. All people have different types of brains. You know, you got people that are better at math. Some people are just artistic. Some people can really sing. That's your brain. You know, vocal cords can be trained if you have the brain. Oh, and you also have really incredibly good hearing. You can hear when you're off key. You understand how to stay on key. It's all done in the brain. Okay? Even people that have damage to their vocal cords can sing and stay on key and have all the dynamics necessary to be a singer. Okay? Yes, there are people that have incredible vocal cords. They have to have several octaves of range. But to be a singer, it's in the brain. It's in the hearing and it's in the brain. And artistic people, they see things different than you and I see the beauty in this thing. Okay? I cleaned out a tube company. I'm going to forget the name of it. Oh, man. ETI, Electron Technology Incorporated, on Kearney Avenue. And that's where that engineering guy that lived in my neighborhood worked. And he also worked for Tongue Saw. And I think I have a tongue saw floating around here. Yeah, here's a tongue saw. And this is a 12A6. All right, the same as that. Where is it? These tubes are the same tube. Okay, and look at the difference. This is the early version. Okay, probably 1942, and then this is like a 1950 version. It's cool. You know, if you ever opened up a tube, it has that smell when you open it up. You break it open and look at the filament in there, the cathode. There's diagrams on the internet of all this stuff and how they work. I just like it, okay, because it's very relaxing. I know how to do transistor circuits. I know how to repair them. I know how to design with them. I know how to design with the integrated circuits. And like I mentioned, I had 700 videos on YouTube at one time, and I took them all down because I started getting trolls, and I didn't like that. You don't know who those people are. They're creepy, man. You know, I have a different way of working with it now. I work on stuff that they won't bother me. If you go into an area where they're embarrassed that they didn't think of having the video, they get upset. They're wackadoodles, man. They're crazy. I think that's it. All right, that's it.